You hear that RDF running right now? Something is really odd that's happening to my small pond, and it's a bottom drain flow issue because the water level somehow is getting restricted. Let me see if I can open up this thing to give an idea. But look at this. Even after a fresh cleaning cycle, look how low that water level is. Since it's so low, the sensor is always activating. So it doesn't take long before the pump draws down the water on this side and it activates the spinning cycle again. See, the water level is supposed to come up all the way to the cleaning tray, but it's not. So I believe that there might be something that's clogging the bottom drain somehow. Don't quite know what it is yet, but we're gonna try to find out. I popped the bottom drain cover down there. It's kind of difficult to see, but I pop out the bottom drain cover and I clear this area right here. So this is where the bottom drain is. See that opening? Yeah, so that opening I cleared up, and I cleared that up. That doesn't seem to be an issue there. See, it's already cycling again. It's supposed to only cycle like every 10-15 minutes, but that wasn't very long. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut off the power, and we're going to see the water level rise up slowly. So there's some flow restriction. I want to shut off the filter. Gonna verify back here. Okay. So you see the water filling up right now. See that right there? That is with two bottom drain at 4-inch. See that? It's supposed to overflow like that. It was supposed to get up to the tray here, but now because these 3 pumps aren't running, this is gonna overflow. Yeah, so that's the standard water level. Actually, when there's drawdown, it's actually a little bit lower than that. But since we turn this off, we're gonna let it keep flowing for a little bit. And then it looks like I'm gonna have to snake clean the bottom drain on the inside, the pipes. So years ago when I did this, I installed 2 sort of like a clean out pipe right here opening. So I just brought it up and I cleaned it out. I mean, I brought it up, put a cap on it so that I have a way to kind of clean and snake it if I need to. After 3 years, it finally came in handy, so I'm gonna try that right now and see if I can clear it. I have to clear both of them, and hopefully it flows into the system. It's it is a little interesting, so we're gonna try and see if we can put this down here and work on it and show you guys what happened. Super strange. Okay. I don't think my electric snake is working at the moment, so I'm gonna have to just manually shove it down. Alright, let me put on some gloves because this is probably a messy job. Messier than anticipated. Let me see where I put my gloves. Oh, on a side note, last night I decided to run the 2 water back again because my quarantine is done. All my quarantine fish have been moved out. I no longer need to use the small pump for any other purpose, so I went ahead and ran the 2, exchanged the water between the 2 ponds again, and look, even overnight it already cleaned up really nicely, so really good. Alright, let me find my gloves. I had them somewhere. Okay, you know what? I'll just take these. I'm gonna see if I can snake both ends. Alright, so I'm gonna just leave it in here. And then we're gonna see what we can do with this. Let me see if I can aim this here. Actually, I'm wondering Actually, I'm gonna put this on this right here. Get a better view. Trying to snake this sucker. Now we found the culprit, you see? Stupid string algae blocking the water. I gotta take a picture of this to use as a thumbnail because now we know why. But this also means I gotta try to do the other one as well. There's a chance the other one also has it. Yep, I can hear the water flowing down there. Since it's clear up, it's got much better flow. So that one's clear. I never had an issue at the beginning. One type was bad. Not bad, just clogged. Okay, let's put this back in. I'm gonna now. Alright, so here's what's important. Okay. So here is the current water level, the drawdown on the pond. You see that line right there? It's about 3.5 inch, close to 4 inch, 3.5 or 3, between 3 and 3.5 inch of that's the water level. Meaning like when these pumps aren't running, only those two on the side are running. That is the current water level drawdown. So when these two run, it's going to draw down even further. That means we have to pump water in here. So we're going to take it from the big pond because it's got some extra. But with the pump off and the RDF off, that's the current water level. This is the cleaning tray, and that's the water level. You want it to be up to here. This is actually no problem. This is fine. The reason why is because the water level is up. You see, it uses more of the mesh area to filter out. If it's lower, it's only using a smaller fraction. So the higher up, the more it uses, which is more efficient. Just that simple. Okay. Oh, wow. Look at my cap for the RDF. It's already peeling out. Oh, that's scary. Imagine if the RDF peels out and breaks like this. Wow. What? Oh, that's weird. Man, I hope this thing doesn't fall apart like that. Hopefully not. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is turn on the pump, the RDF, and then see where the water level is. Alright, so here we go. Gotta turn this on. Yep, my plants are always in the way. Okay, so all the 3 pumps are gonna go on, and we're gonna see the drawdown. So here's what's gonna happen. You'll see it. See the water going down? So that's the drawdown that occurs when the 3 pumps are running. But because the pipes are no longer clogged, it's gonna take a little bit longer, I think. So it's gonna clean again. Yeah, it's still cleaning a lot more. So that's actually not good because the water level is not refilling fast enough. So I'm not sure what the reason is. I feel like I already cleaned out the pipe, unless that bottom drain right there, unless that basket is really clogging up the water. So what we're gonna do is take that basket out to improve the water flow, I hope. All right, let's try that. We're gonna try everything to make sure that the water is back to normal. I put the little basket on because I put it in here because the little fish was getting in between the filter, the little opening. They were getting into the opening of the bottom drain and into the RDF, and I had to catch them out, so it was more work than needed. Actually, I'm not going to remove the cap completely. I'm just going to shift it a little bit to give more opening space for the water flow through. So we're going to see what happens now. We got to isolate everything and test. It's the only way to narrow down what's going on here. All right. So right there, the bottom drain cap is not properly seated at the moment. It was actually already off when I was removing the algae. But the basket right there, the stainless basket, I shift it off a little bit. That way it can give more opening for the water to get into the bottom drain. So we're gonna turn this thing on now and see how it does. Okay, so that's the drawdown. It's going down as expected. Okay, but it's missing water right there, so we have to fill that part up before this thing can fully, before the water can flow in faster. So I'm gonna turn off one of this pump real quick. That way I'm taking some water from the big pond and put it into the small pond for now. I'm still hearing the drum going, so it's actually not doing its job. Meaning something is still blocking it. So the drum is still going. No good. That's no good. That's bad. Nope, no good, no good. Alright. That is no good. Alright, so we don't want the RDF to keep running. So something definitely is clogged down there. For sure. So we're gonna have to go in there and remove it manually now. Yeah, because solution was the easiest too, and probably something I should have done in the first place. I took a water hose like this. Obviously we can't twist this through the pipe, so I took this nozzle out, extended nozzle. I took it out and I just shoved this thing all the way down from the top of my cleanout tee I shoved it down, and I shoved it down as much as I can, and all the way through, and I just put it on full blast. And that's when I saw it blasted a huge clump of like food that was left over there. And after that, it just cleared up. So as you can see, oh, and I also clean out the mesh with muriatic acid. See that box over there? That acid is I got from Home Depot. I use it to clean out the mesh so that it can flow better. And I think honestly, even if you don't experience flow issues from the bottom drain, and you notice that the drum cycles a lot, it's really important to go through and just every 6 months or so, I say just clean it with muriatic acid, even if it looks clean, because the micro buildup in there, the film is still present inside that screen. So having that cleaned out is going to be really helpful. So it's worth it to every 6 months, maybe every 4 months, maybe, you know, just to go in there. It literally takes like 10 minutes or less. You just brush it on there and just get it out of the way. So that really helped. Water's super clean now. The flow is really good. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, I was actually very worried the last few days because I thought I might have had to like drain the water and go down there and clean things out if there was like a massive buildup of algae. But that was not the case, thank goodness. All right, next issue. So now we're gonna talk about why this thing is losing water, right? Two things. I did not bring the water level up yet after I cleared out the clog issue, because I figured there might be some more issues. So I didn't want to just keep filling in with water. But that issue actually comes from a small overflow in my sump, and I'm gonna walk over and show you guys what's going on. So this is an entire sump right here. This box looking structure here. I covered it with lumber to kind of hide the concrete work, but it is a box that I built, kind of like a tank, like a sump tank. It's filled with K1 media underneath. I'm gonna show a close up right here. It's and I lined the box with a pond liner. Oh, let me see if I can walk through. But you see here, so it's not supposed to, the water level, see the K1 media, it's not supposed to go up this high. But the reason why it's going up this high is because that Matala mat, which is what I use to block everything from flowing over and only the water can get through, well, that mat over time, it also clogs up, because little small amounts of residues and detritus from the food and the waste, despite going into the filter first, it can still build up in that area, because the woven strands of that matting, it has a film and it slowly builds up. So as it builds up, the water flow is restricted and reduced, so I get overflow here. So the moment it starts overflowing these liners and comes out here, that is when I slowly lose water inside the pond, because it's not returning to the pond. The water is actually coming out here. This is not the overflow. This is actually just a an anti-siphon T-elbow that I put on here, so that if I turn it off, it doesn't siphon back into the pond. But yes, because it overflows, you see, overflows here. Normally it's about a few inches underneath the liner, but because right now it's overflowing, that's why I'm losing water. So my pond slowly loses water. I did not show you guys this issue before, because sometimes when these things come up, it worries me if I don't know what's going on. Like if I see that much water getting lost, I immediately think that there's some kind of a leak. So I was a little bit worried, but no, I identified the issue. It's this overflow issue, because the water, it starts coming onto the side here. And this is actually an easy fix. It's just a little bit of tedious. So what I have to do is unbolt this little distributor pipe right here, take off this plastic piece on the top, and then I'm gonna go down there and I'm just gonna I'm not gonna flush everything out the pond. I'm gonna use the pump, and I'm gonna pump all the dirty stuff after I agitate it to dislodge all the buildup, and then I'm gonna remove it because that's actually a good fertilizer. So I'm gonna just pump it somewhere around my yard, and then once we clear that, we're gonna blast the Matala mat with a water hose to clean out as much as we can, and then we're gonna see that this right here is gonna lower drastically. And that is also, for my particular pond, an ongoing maintenance issue, and there's no walk around to it because the way I design it, I honestly did not expect that when I was designing this, because if I did, I probably would have just done like a straight backy shower like everyone else. The backy shower is gonna avoid all of these issues. So now that I'm learning, a backy shower would have been extremely helpful, but as you can see, I did not want the showers stacks everywhere, so this was the next best option. And now that I know how to maintain this, basically what I have to do in the future is, and I already kind of designed this to have a built-in cleaning. All these years I never had the need to use it, but you see that little pipe right there? This pipe right here. Yeah. So that is actually a 3/4 inch air pipe, and I think I made it into like a zigzag pattern to cover as much of the sump as possible, so I can use that in the future to blow a high pressure amount of air inside here to regurgitate everything every month or so, so that it cleans it up so I don't have to deal with this stuff. Yeah, but that's basically why I'm losing water. So I guess I'm just gonna start, you know what, it's a little bit early. I'm gonna go and relax for a little bit since I already know what's going on before I come back out here and do this cleanup. Because I've been working in this pond area for the last few days, and I am getting a little bit tired just from all the work. Oh yeah, so I think we mentioned this, but this right here is the muriatic acid that you can buy at the Home Depot in the garden area. So it works really well with cleaning that screen, and you can use it to clean other stuff as well. But mostly it was used to balance the pH in the pool. Not for the pond though. It's the cheapest cleaning solution for that screen. Yeah, so the flow is a lot better now. I can feel it, I can hear it. The water looks really good. The fish looks incredibly happy. So for me, that's what's important. And I'm gonna start moving some fish into the pond probably today. Alright, so like I said, I'm just gonna go in and relax for a little bit, and then I'm gonna come out, do this. You know, I see some food getting stuck in the skimmer. Take it out. Oh my god, that's a lot of food. Okay. I'm pretty sure the fish are hungry. Getting clean them out and leave the rest. Not worth that. I'm gonna turn off the feeder over there. See my shower up here. It looks like it also needs to be cleaned up. Flow restriction. Yeah, but this shower has been pretty helpful. I'm just glad I can hide it. Oh, check out this drain cleaning snake. Remember in the previous section, I in another video earlier, I was using a rod, the pool extension stick, to clean out the algae. Well, I found out that this little nifty handheld Home Depot drain snake is really cool, because look at this. I drain a bunch of them out and I can just cut it up and remove it. Works really well. It's like going along the liner and then just giving it a little hair trim. By twisting this thing, it gets all the string algae up. I'll do a short video on this eventually after I do this whole filter cleaning maintenance routine. But this is really neat. Look at that. And then you just shred it and just take it out and then come back and use it anytime. The good thing about this is the wire diameter is only like 1/4 of an inch, so you can twist and get rid of even the short strand algae, because it doesn't need a lot of length to wind around the wire, so it works really well. Alright, let me make sure. Every time I use a utility knife around the pond, I gotta make sure I close it. Just always afraid of this thing falling in and puncturing the liner. Alright. The big pond on this side, it's good. It's really good. I mean, there's a little bit of a foam on the top right now, but overall, really nice. I did get rid of a number of fish over the weekend, or yesterday, well, this week, but because I gotta move the other ones out back in the other one into here, I still gotta get rid of more fish. But water's really nice and clean. Filter's good on this one, so this one for now, it hasn't aged yet, so everything's fine. But I expect this pond to eventually have maintenance issues, very much like the small pond as well, because this is a converted pool, so you know the plumbing is not up to par compared to the other one. But we'll see when we'll deal with it when we get there. At least now we have more experience and we can figure things out and troubleshoot things a little bit easier, less stressed. Okay, we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, we're gonna start this process, and let me show you what's happening in here. So if there was no water going into the pond sump, into this pump, into the sump here. That is how low the media gets. So when I had made this thing, I gave it like an extra like 7-8 inches of height so that water will flow down, right? But of course, you know, when you have this much K1 media and this Matala mat here, there's gonna be a little bit of restriction. So this part's gonna, the water's gonna be a little bit higher compared to the weir. The weir is that area where the water flows down on the other side. But over time, this thing does clog up. But mostly the mesh area, that's where it clogs up. Because the water has no problem flowing through here. It's just this area builds up. You see how there's things in there inside, in between the actual K1 media itself. So in that area, it does accumulate. So all we gotta do is just clean the screen right here. Blow as much as we can on this side using the blower end of the blower side of the shop vac, and we're just gonna agitate it, and then it should be able to dislodge a lot. The water also will dislodge it by spraying it with a high pressure, or just from the jet stream of the nozzle. But I'm mostly gonna be cleaning this area so water can flow out. And then in here, it's gonna get really dirty and messy because we're breaking down all the muck and detritus and so on, right? What we're gonna do is vacuum it out. We don't want this going back into the pond because it's gonna take a while to filter. So we're gonna suck this out, not with a vacuum. It's actually, I'm gonna use this pump. This pump actually works really well because, let me demonstrate. The spacing on this strainer blocks the K1 from coming in, so the K1 actually doesn't go in. See that? Because it doesn't go in, I can put this down there as long as it's, make sure that it's locked, and then I can just pump all the dirty water out. We're gonna reuse that water. I'm gonna put it all the way back there just for the purpose of this this job, because that water is clean. It's super dirty, but it's a good fertilizer. So I'm gonna put it back there where I'm gonna grow more plants. Simple. So I'm gonna set this down and we're gonna get going. I'm gonna do this in a time lapse since the basic has already been explained. So agitate, bring the water out, fill water, agitate again, and just continue doing it until the water's nice and clean and the flow is good. That's simple. So this is what it looks like in action. Water bubbling. I'm also bringing in fresh water to agitate it. I tried a blower on the shop vac, but it was just blown everywhere. There was not a lot of control. Didn't work out that well, so no good. The water is still dirty and murky, so I'm gonna let it run for a bit. And then the drain is coming out this way. See that spot right there? Yeah, dirty water, but it's good to water the yard with it. In this hobby, you'll be having plenty of water to use for the yard, that's for sure. So I should put the water on the other side. That way it can push all the dirty stuff towards this side. Yep, it's pretty annoying. I think a moving media bed is easier, where you just keep the air in here all the time. The problem is I'm just being a little bit cheap. I wanted to use as little electricity as possible, so every season I just have to clean this once. Still got a little bit of murkiness to it. I'm gonna wait until actually it's pretty much clean now. Yeah, so I think now it's probably gonna be okay to shut it off and refill the tank, refill the pond. It's a good amount of water. It's been running for a while. Too bad. I'm gonna put some water in here in mine. Alright, so I went ahead and shut off the pump, removed the air, and I put the air back in here, and we're gonna refill up this pond, and then we're gonna turn on the RDF soon. So once I get this all filled up, we're gonna go ahead and let it run, and you'll see that the water level is not gonna be as high, therefore it's not gonna overflow and cause the pond to lose water. Yeah, it did take up like an hour and a half, but you just clean it once a season and you should be happy and everything should be good. But next time what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna spray the Matala mat so that I can unclog it, so and I don't have to deal with all this crazy buildup. Or I should just let the airstone go in there and work it. Actually, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna connect the air pump, put it on a timer so that once a day, blow it for an hour at nighttime or something, and then just get it out of the way. That way we'll clean up everything and we don't have to deal with the mess. Okay, the water level is up at a point where we can turn on the RDF, and this sump area is gonna fill up. So we're gonna check the water level on the sump, because it should be enough to overflow into the weir here without, it'll flow out, but it won't overflow. That's what I'm trying to say, and that's what's important. Okay, let's see. But when the water comes out here, it's gonna be a little bit brownish because there's stuff inside the sump after all that agitation. Okay, so the pumps are going, and let's see where we're at in terms of the sump. Okay, it's gonna fill up slowly. Actually, we're gonna watch water on this side, because when it starts flowing down, that's when we know that the sump is gonna be filled up. Okay, so it's flowing right now. There you go. Yep, now it's flowing. Very nice. Okay, so that's full water flow right now. And just to verify. Alright, so on the sump end, the water level, well, it comes up to here now. See how there's like a good like 5 inches of space in here? Essentially, I designed this so that this thing is supposed to act like a bucket shower, but there's so much media that's pushing up against it. But if that Matala mat had not clogged up, the water level will always be here, so it never overflows. But over time, naturally it just builds up with all the crud that gets into it, and then this thing the water doesn't flow out, and it builds up here, and it comes over, and it just overflows, so it makes my pond lose water. But that is what the issue is. So, or the issue was, and now it's resolved, so we should be fine. And this should be good for like a good 6 months. But after a heavy feeding year, I gotta watch slowly and see where the water is right here. And if it starts to come over here, I have about an inch of spacing where I feel like it's safe to continue. And if it starts getting up to here, I have to start cleaning up that mat. But I think from now on, every few weeks when I come out here, I'm gonna just spray it. Since I'm already out here, I might as well just spray it to get rid of it. It'll be a lot easier. It takes literally like 2 minutes, and it will save me all the trouble of this. All right, so now the drawdown is looks even more drastic because it brought the water level down. So now I gotta fill up to where the water line is, and that's it. I'm just gonna let it do its thing. After a day, with all this bubbling and all the filtration happening and all the pumps flowing water in and out, it's gonna clear up really quickly. And that was actually a good chance to do a little bit of water change as well. That's it. Alright, so just to recap, we resolved the issue with the bottom drain pipes. We resolved the issue with the sump getting clogged. Now the water is going back, so we're good.